Understanding is the ground of love. If a father and son do not understand each other, they will make each other suffer. So understanding is the key that unlocks the door to love. If understanding is not there, no matter how hard you try, you cannot love. If you say, I have to try to love him, this is nonsense. You have to understand him. And through understanding, you will be able to love him. If we live with the understanding of impermanence, we will cultivate and nurture our love. Only then will it last. All the suffering of living beings is our own suffering. We have to see that we are they and they are us. When we see their suffering, an arrow of compassion and love enters our hearts. We can love them, embrace them, and find a way to help. Only then will we not be overwhelmed by despair at their situation or our own. Unless you know how to love your neighbor, you cannot love God. Before placing an offering on the altar of God, you have to reconcile with your neighbor, because reconciling with your neighbor is to reconcile with God. You can only touch God through his creatures. You will not understand what is true love, the love of God, unless you practice the love of humanity. Love relieves suffering. Allow yourself to be a torch, and allow the flame of your torch to be transmitted to other torches. Practicing like that, you can help peace and joy grow in the entire world. This is the practice. When you become mindful, understanding, and loving, you suffer much less. You begin to feel happy, and the people around you begin to profit from your being there. When you are mindful, you realize that the other person suffers. You see her suffering, and suddenly you don't want her to suffer anymore. If you touch suffering deeply in yourself and in the other person, understanding will arise. When understanding arises, love and acceptance will also arise, and this will bring the suffering to an end. When you are motivated by the desire to transcend suffering, to get out of a difficult situation, and to help others to do the same, you become a powerful source of energy that helps you to do what you want to do to transform yourself and to help other people. True love is made of understanding. Understanding the other person, the object of your love. Understanding their suffering, their difficulties, and their true aspiration. Out of the understanding, there will be kindness, there will be compassion, there will be an offering of joy. If respect for the other person is no longer there, true love cannot continue for long. True love is a love without possessiveness. You love, and still you are free, and the other person is also free. The kind of love that has no joy is not true love. If both parties cry every day, then that's not true love. There must be joy and freedom and understanding in love. If mindfulness is cultivated in our daily life, if concentration and insight are cultivated in our daily life, we become more open, more tolerant, and our love grows stronger within us. Reality cannot be described in terms of being and non-being. Being and non-being are notions created by you, exactly like the notions of birth and death, coming and going. If your beloved one can no longer be seen, it does not mean that from being she has become non-being. If you realize this truth about your beloved, you will suffer much less. And if you realize this truth about yourself, you will transcend your fear of dying, of non-being. This concludes the reading of Taming the Tiger Within, Meditations on Transforming Difficult Emotions by Thich Nhat Hanh.